Hi, so my name's Lloyd Davidson and I am one of the data privacy specialists at Vox Securitas. Today I'm just going to talk to you about the DataVista Portal, something that I had a hand in creating, and just to show you about what the journey is like for our customers. So once we get you set up on our portal, you'll log in using two-factor authentication, which is something that will obviously keep your data more secure and is best practice in the industry nowadays. And once you're logged in, you effectively will come on to do your first task, which is just a basic compliance assessment. And this assesses your organisation for a number of different areas that are key to being compliant within the realms of data privacy. So there's a number of different sections, such as have you got the right privacy notices, questions around that, data protection impact assessments and how you conduct those, and also on your employees and HR, and have you got the right policies and procedures in place for those. And each one of these sections, once you go into them, will ask a number of questions, as you can see here. So for example, we just have a number of yes, no or don't know answers, such as, is the data protection policy provided to all employees? And if it is, you tick yes, obviously, and so on and so forth. We also do give little hints to any of the questions where you may not have an understanding of what's being asked, which can be quite handy because GDPR and data privacy is not always the most simple subject for people that aren't trained in it to go into. And so from here, once you've completed doing all the questions, this will then feed through into the dashboard for DataVista, which will show your tasks for compliance. So provided that you answer all of the questions in a compliant manner, you'll see a lot of these red boxes going to green or to amber, or if you haven't answered them, as far as sort of being GDPR compliant goes, they will be red. So for example, in the employees section, there's a few questions where we answered no on, where we should have probably answered yes if we wanted to be compliant. And this will just give us some tasks to complete here, and once we update those, then they shall follow through and turn into green boxes on the dashboard. Now, once we've completed those tasks for compliance, we will then go on to something which is quite key, and that's maintaining that compliance. So after you do the initial assessment, a lot of people think that's it, but actually what's very important is to keep up with that compliance and make sure that we're constantly reviewing the things that may change, or things that need to be checked every once in a while, so ensuring that every new employee has been inducted and given adequate training on GDPR, for example, or if we've got any new suppliers and whether they need to be signed up with any third-party supplier agreements, and so on and so forth. And on this compliance maintenance wheel, again, much like the burst diagram seen earlier, we'll give you a number of tasks that are red if they need to be actioned, and green if they have been actioned successfully. Okay, so now what we'll be looking at is the gap analysis questionnaire. So as I go into that now, this questionnaire effectively will ask key questions about each department in the organisation, so the human resources department, the IT department, finance, operations, sales and marketing, and so on and so forth, asking key questions about the processing and security of data, and questions around data subject rights. Now, provided that you answer all of these, you'll then be able to view a report. And within this report, again, it uses the DataVista burst diagram, which shows the traffic light system effectively of red, amber and green. Green being compliant, amber being partially compliant or on the way to being compliant, and red to say it's non-compliant. And what it will do, it will take all of your answers to those questions and judge you accordingly. As we can see here, we've got a number of areas that we have scored compliant, a few areas that are partially compliant, and a few red areas down here as well. But this entire report also then will give you a roadmap which shows what actions you need to take to become fully compliant in those areas where you haven't scored 100% on, and also some further conclusions. So this report is quite a key part of the DataVista platform, but it will be very handy for our clients to see where they are in their journey with GDPR and data privacy, and what they need to do going forwards to score 100% in compliance.